all the other amazing local restaurants that we have. So thank you for that, Jeff and Mayor Grove. Appreciate it, the updates on the development, the work that's being done by you and your team to make sure that LaSalle gets to where you and the rest of the group want to be. Mayor Klosky, we will pass the torch to you, sir, to give us an update on the city of Peru.
Well, thank you for everybody for being here today. My name is Ken Klosky. I'm the mayor of the city of Peru. I'm going to echo what these guys have been saying. I'm going to do a little bit differently though. I'm going to recognize everybody at my table here. I'm part of our team. I'll start with the Alderman Jason Edgecombe. If you guys don't mind raising your hands real quick. Alderman Lukosius, Alderman Tiemann, Alderman Marino. Aldermen that are not here today is Alderman Payton, Osetnik, and Ballard. And I'd like to recognize the rest of my team. Jeff King, he's our fire marshal, fire chief, public service director. Chief Raymond, City of Peru Police Chief. Tracy Mitchell, our finance director. Adam Thorson, Parks and Recs director. Kim Reese, HR director. People that are not here, Jackson Powell, treasurer. Eric Carl, city engineer. Scott Schweiger, city attorney. Kevin Minnick, electric department director. Stephen Rounds, our IT director. And Dave Bartley is our city clerk. I tell you this because I get asked a lot, why is Peru being so successful? Okay? It's because we're a team. It's that simple. Everybody at City Hall, Public Works, Public Services, the electric department, our police officers, our firefighters, this table right here, we're a team. Who's ever watched the movie Miracle? The 1980 USA hockey team? A movie about that? Coach Herb Brooks. He told the players, the name on the front of the jersey is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. And that's what we do in Peru. We pull the rope in the same direction. We're all in this together for the citizens and for our city. So with that said, I'll brief you guys on a few things that have happened in the last year or so. Obviously our GAF, they're full manufacturing now. Wonderful up there in our industrial park. OSF has opened up and continuing to grow, which is great. We've welcomed in Popeyes and Ollie's and Five Below. Just finally broke ground here last week. We're celebrating our Taste of Illinois Valley. Made our 4th of July really special. I'll touch this one quickly, and I'll come back to it maybe when the questions are. We got a 3-year contract extension with the Pistol Shrimp, and I think with the questions we'll talk about that for tourism. And then the signature event. The TBM is nothing short than amazing. These volunteers, they start their meetings the day after the event ends, and it has become the City of Peru's signature event. I can't thank everybody enough for that. We just posted a promotional video that'll be going national, and if you've seen it, it's amazing to bring more people into the region. We made a lot of city park improvements. Our Polhar Crossing subdivision, 20 new homes have been built up there since we opened that up. And then our infrastructure. We're really attacking infrastructure. Everybody knows Route 6 downtown. I know it's not easy getting through there. But again, our team, when the state came to us and told us they're going to repave that, our team jumped in. The alderman, our engineering department, everybody said, we're not going to let you put a brand new road over the top of a 100-year-old infrastructure. So we made the investment, a little over, I believe, $4 million from the post office all the way to the border of LaSalle. All new infrastructure. A lot of people ask why we ripped up the concrete. Again, our city engineer. We put a lot of the infrastructure now underneath the sidewalks, so that if you have a problem down the road, you're not ripping up the road to replace anything that's going on there. That's about it. I mean, there's a lot going on in Peru. We're continuing to grow, and that's kind of like the highlights there. So I'll pass it on to you.
Hello, I'm Melanie Lucy Thompson, Mayor of Spring Valley. I'm our 4th year.
No, let's go. Okay.
I'm completing my 4th year as mayor of the city of Spring Valley. Part of these 4 years have passed already. We have so much going on in the city of Spring Valley, and I look forward to the opportunity to continue all the momentum of our accomplishments are that we have continued our city beautification initiative. We're working on transforming our downtown into a space to be proud of. Last year, we initiated a veterans memorial plaque program, stepping up the city of Peru. However, when we initiated the program, I thought maybe we'll get 50 veteran families that would like to have their flags displayed. When the final order came in, we had 175 flags that were ordered. Created a little bit of a problem. We didn't anticipate that and have enough space, but our city workers diligently started the work on a Thursday and had them up by Saturday, 175 flags that were absolutely beautiful. It was wonderful to see all of the veterans' names and their time that they served, and it was really something to be proud of in Spring Valley. Other things we've accomplished last year, we demolished an unsightly hotel building, and that is paving the way for new developments to occur there. We are trying to secure grant funding for enhancing the parking and rejuvenating the downtown even more. We have had 37 business owners in the last 4 years take advantage of our facade grants. And if you come to Spring Valley and take a look at the exteriors of our buildings in downtown, you will see a significant improvement. Last year, we completed a major sewer and road resurfacing project on 4th Street. We have a very active police department, and during the course of last year, we were able to secure a COPS grant in the amount of $165,000 to allow for the hiring of a school resource officer. This has also allowed us to place in Hall High School a full-time officer. Our state has mandated we must have body cameras, and we have secured a grant that covered over 95% of those camera costs. They have now been installed and are implemented by all of our officers. We just recently approved lock cameras, and they are in use, and they are able to, they've already been able to solve several crimes that have occurred in Spring Valley, and they have increased our security level near our downtown district. We are still we still have adjudication hearings in Spring Valley. Our council developed a hearing program that allows for our ordinances and violations to be heard in Spring Valley. This has reduced the need for a city attorney to have to go to the Bureau County Courthouse for hearings, and has allowed for settlement agreements to be put in place in case people do not wish to contest their violation. Our National Night Out program, we continue to have the tradition of that in the Herbie Park in August. Past year was very successful again, and it brings our entire community together. Our crime rate in Spring Valley has a 30% drop compared to last year. We've promoted 2 officers to sergeant and welcomed 2 new officers to our department. Our fire department successfully formed a fire district, and they are looking forward to being independent and bolstering their emergency response capabilities and the additional revenue sources that will be available to them. We continue to pursue opportunities for the I-80 corridor. It is not an task, but we do not give up, and we're optimistic someday in the near future we will see some activity there. The City of Spring Valley has the safe housing program, and we continue our enforcement of rental registry compliance to make sure all of our renters have secure and comfortable housing. The home modification initiative, we have launched our 3rd round of that program, and that's been a very successful program for our residents. We have had no problems with that, and residents are enjoying improvements to their homes that is at no cost to them. Last year, the City of Spring Valley was awarded an OSLOT grant for the first time. This secures the funding for development of new softball and baseball fields at JFK School. We also added a pickleball court to Kirby Park. We have plans to continue to clean up Coal Miners Park, revitalizing this community space. We have seen an increase in economic activity that's led to a significant rise in sales tax revenue that has benefited our city. We have exciting plans for 2025. Our downtown mini park expansion has been approved. That you will see happening in the next week or so. We are constructing a facility that will have public restrooms and a concession stand, enhancing our concept of having a family-friendly atmosphere downtown. You've heard me talk about our community center, event center for years now. I'm happy to announce we are in motion and are completing the interior remodeling. We hope to have that completed by August, stay tuned for a grand opening celebration. Ardo Landing, another exciting topic. Yesterday, they began dredging on Ardo Landing that has been closed for quite some time. We were fortunate enough to take over the property from the township and are looking forward to opening that back up again for our community. This summer, we have things to look forward to. In May, we have Cinco de Mayo taco crawl by Grove Spring Valley. The park board has secured a Wilson's Family Show to host a carnival downtown. We will have a vendor fair down there, music, celebrations, and we hope to bring back the nostalgic 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We've also applied and are optimistic on the sidewalk grants. We're hoping to improve the sidewalks on Dakota Street to ensure safe routes for our children. Our growth encouragement and our ongoing efforts to stimulate business growth will drive Spring Valley prosperity forward. We are very proud of the progress that we have made in the last 4 years. I attribute that to a very, very supportive council, a collaborative effort with our citizens, our employees, and our volunteers. We are fully committed to continuing the progress that we have seen. And if you are interested in learning more about what we have going on in Spring Valley, we're always available to reach us. We have new emails. I can be reached at mthompson@springvalleyil.gov. If you have ideas, welcome your ideas. The more people we have contributing to the success, the better off. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Mayor, for the board as well. A couple points that struck me. Borrowing ideas. I'm fortunate to sit with all of these folks prior to listening to them talk, and to hear them ask each other, hey, how did you guys do this? What was the plan behind this? It is great to see, and I think that as each of them and their council share those ideas with each other, it does make the area that much better. It allows each of them to grow in their own communities, but also as a region. So I appreciate you saying that, the borrowing of ideas. So thank you for that. Ardo Landing will be phenomenal once that's done. And if you haven't made it to a national night out in Spring Valley, I encourage you to stop by when they run the program. It is phenomenal. You get a ton of community out. There's just a huge energy and a great feeling in the community that they have done. So thank you for everything that you and your team have done in Spring Valley. Next up is the City of Oglesby, Mayor Curran. We'll pass the mic to him. Mayor Curran, you are up to update us on Oglesby.
All right, thank you. All right, I'd like to thank Bill, Penny, and all the IVAC board for hosting us today. Also, thank you to everybody that's in attendance today to get some more details on your cities and what's happening in the region. I see that we got a lot of movers and shakers in the room, so I appreciate what you guys do every day. I know you guys are busy, so I'll get right to it. Okay, so here's what's been happening in Oglesby that got done within the past year. For economic development, we had our vacant building tour. It's the first time we had that vacant building tour in about 7 or 8 years. So we had about 14 different businesses. 2 of them were larger sized businesses on the west side of town. The rest were in the downtown district. Because of that, we got Lincoln Bridge Financials there now, Two Brothers Diners in the old Jorge's location, and there's actually a couple other locations that are looking to do some stuff as well. So KEI Enterprises is a solar redistributor out of Minnesota. They're going into the old Badgerminute building. They also build and repair large-scale industrial control panels. What is that important for? Well, they're telling us they're going to be bringing about 150 full-time jobs over the next 5 years. So that's pretty significant. We just signed a redevelopment agreement with them, so we're looking to partner with them and see what they can bring to the city here. Continues to be a challenge to attract big fish, right? I know we all talk about we want to get that big industry that comes in that brings 1,000 full-time paying jobs. We've had a lot of nibbles, we've had a few bites. But we haven't landed that big manufacturing company yet that brings those full-time jobs to the area. And I know we're ripe for development, right, being off I-39 there. So, infrastructure this past year. Rising costs continue to be a concern. For those that don't know, back in 2019, we started having a federal mandate that we need to get a new wastewater treatment plant. Our previous plant was about 70 years old. At the time in 2019, it's about $15 million to replace that. Those costs have risen to over $30 million by 2025. So, up to this point, all the milestones have been met. There are a lot of them. One of them, for example, was the storm sewer separation project. We got some assistance from the county with their ARPA grants. Appreciate that. And plans have all been finalized. We're still working on a lot of different funding options. We're working with all the legislators. You know, just like everybody kind of mentioned before, costs are high. We're trying to find ways to make sure we can fund those. Electrical costs. So, with electrical, started back in 2021-ish. The project was about $1.5 million. Costs have been up to about $2.5 million. What we're looking to do is expand power on our west side for more industrial opportunities. And also, the secondary effect is we're looking to get redundancy for the entire city for a power supply. There's very few cities in the state of Illinois that have a complete redundant power supply. So we're hoping when that happens, it's going to help us out, even attract more businesses to be able to come in. We're looking to partner. We partner with other groups. For example, we are Oglesby, great local business association. One of the things that they did this past year is they took over the winter parade completely. So for the last 3 years now that they created a winter parade, the city also hosted the city side of the events, and it's just fantastic that we are Oglesby that not only did the parade, the tree lighting, they coordinated all the downtown businesses. It's very exciting to see a business organization come together and start working on those things. We also have the Dickinson Foundation. So the Dickinson House, if those don't know, it's an older community center that has a very deep, rich history in our city. It's used as a polling place, rentals, parties for kids, has its own bowling center, hosts city events, but it was aging infrastructure. So they were able to put in a grant through the county, and they got an ADA compliant bathroom there. I know it's really a small item, but what's important about that is when you have organizations trying to maintain these things, now we get more extended life out of that use for our community. All right, plans for the next year. Infrastructure. In addition to the wastewater treatment plant, the electrical stuff that's happening, hopefully we're going to be able to finish this year actually. So, well, at least on the electrical infrastructure. The wastewater treatment plant, I think, has to be completely operational by 2028. So we're going to continue to work on finding funding for that. Another thing that happened is we had a degraded bridge project that goes across the bridge kind of bisects the city from east to west, and it had a failing deck beam. We were able to get something in with the county back in 2019, and it's finally come to fruition to where it's going to get paid for, and the grant's happening now. So save the city some money there. We're also looking to, just a shout out to Mayor Ray Mabry, the wise and also so charming. Good to see you again, sir. He talks about a little bit about how when you have your entrances to your city, right, you really have to make sure that it's presentable. So we have I-39 that bisects our city right in half, and we've been waiting to try to get funding for quite a while to get our approaches repaired, and that funding hasn't come in. So we're biting the bullet this year, and we're going to repair that so we can get that looking good. So further expansion on other events. Okay, so we know our biggest event we have is our 4-day Fun Fest, right? We're looking to expand that into a preview night. Well, what is preview night going to be? The first thing it's going to be is it's going to be a special needs night. So other larger cities have done this before. So normally it's Thursday through Sunday. They're going to come here on Wednesday, and before it gets dark, it's going to be hosting just for special needs, right? So what does that mean, right? You're going to have less lights, less people. There's no beer garden. There's no music. There's no noises. There's going to be longer loading times for it. It's basically going to be a way to give back to the community for those that wouldn't normally get to experience those things. Then when the sun goes down, it's going to be the preview night. So when you have all these different opportunities for enjoyment and things like that, some families can't afford all the different things. So that night, because the time is going to be more limited, the wristbands are going to be at a severely discounted price. So it's another opportunity there to expand upon what we're bringing to town. So we're going to continue to partner with other groups. For example, we are Oglesby. They're expanding on even more events in the city. They're expanding into bringing a car show in. They're going to be doing multiple movies in the park. So why is this important? you know, I look at it as government's job is to spearhead opportunities, right? To push for economic growth, bring these kinds of things. But when you get businesses that are successful, right, they're gonna bring more businesses and more success next to them. So you want them to be able to be self-sufficient to create these things. And I'm so happy that Mayor Oglesby is stepping up and finding ways to sustain themselves to be able to do these kinds of things. We're going to continue to partner and you know, at least review event schedules and stuff with our nearby neighbors. For example, Utica is known for their Purdue Festival, their Wine Walk, Peru, the massive TV Avengers show, Ottawa's Kris Kringle Market, Mendoza's Sweet Corn Festival, and our Fun Fest. We want to make sure that we're not trying to put these events anywhere overlapping each other, right? Because our goal is to be bringing people into our region on a more regular basis, right? I want Mendoza's Sweet Corn Festival to be super successful. I want the TBM Avengers, not because I'm a veteran, but just I want it to be amazing, right? Because when these things happen, we all benefit from that. Just like Bill said earlier, there's always something going on in our area, in our region, and that's what we can work together on. So we're continuing our long-term conversations with IDNR and their engineers for future expansion of Matheson State Park. For those that don't know, a couple years ago, they bought about 2,600 acres. It completely surrounds the northeast to the south side of Oglesby, about 2,600 acres. They're looking to bring 800 campsites, a BMX park, fossil park, fishing pond, and more hiking trails to include what I call the greatest waterfall in America that nobody gets to see. If we would have had a screen right here or something like that, I'd have that up in the background. This thing is majestic. It's going to be one of the trails that they're going to create. It's going to be the end of one of the longest trails. It is the most beautiful waterfall I think I've seen in person other than Niagara Falls. It's amazing. So why do I say that? Why is that important? Right now, Starved Rock brings what? 3 million visitors to our area a year. I don't know what that's going to expand to when we get this thing completed, right? Is that going to go to 4 million, 3.5, 5 million? I don't know. There's only 350 million Americans in our country. If we bring 3.5 million Americans through our region, that's 1% of our entire nation is coming through our area every year. What an opportunity for us to expand on things. It's going to be huge. It's our job to lay the groundwork to make sure that we're preparing ourselves for that future success. As far as economic development, we're going to be continuing our, sorry, get track. That's weird. All right, we're going to be continuing our vacant building tour, coupled with our various incentive programs that we created locally. We're still questioning if we want to do it twice a year or just once a year. Obviously, 7 to 8 years is too long. We're going to continue to market ourselves not only for our extremely economical electrical power, at least compared to all of Illinois, because it's pricey out there. We're going to leverage our diverse and various incentive plans, our fiber optic network, leverage our city finally achieved a complete redundant power supply, and our proximity to Matheson and Starved Rock for tourism. So the funny thing is, I know to my left, I got a lot of people running for their positions. There's nobody even up in the city of Oglesby for election right now. But we got this change of government referendum for city manager that's going on. You would think that's the most political divide you've ever heard of. So, you know, I do think economic development is what is driving our form of government. It's what's going to allow for Oglesby to grow the best. Mayor Grove talked about economic development. You know, it's one thing to be able to try to just you try to be able to get people into your area. That's very difficult when you say you just want that. It really takes an aggressive means to get a team out there that's really trying to constantly bring people into the area. And I'll be honest, that's one of the things that Oglesby's kind of lacking. We need more aggressive work on that. All right, so we need to be able to strike at those opportunities a little bit more. However, divides or not, whether it passes or fails, regardless, right? The city is still dedicated to advancing all of these opportunities that we have, right? That being said, we got a lot of pokers in the fire for a lot of small opportunities. For example, there's a new business. I was hoping a couple weeks ago I was going to be able to announce it, and then I was hoping I was going to be able to announce it today. Just on last Monday, I got a chance to talk with the developer. The deal's not quite ready yet. They still haven't signed everything. So, but that's just one thing. Even though it's not going to be something like KEI, where it's bringing 150 jobs to the region, it's going to be bringing lots of things that the citizens have really been wanting for a while. So, lots of opportunities like that, and I'm hoping that as the year progresses, we're going to have a lot more announcements for some of the small development items we have. All these things that we have that's going on that's fantastic in the city, that doesn't happen by itself, right? All the city employees, the workers, the community organizations, they all play a vital role in everything we do to make ourselves successful. So, all right, that's all I got. Thanks.
that happens there across the area. 2,600 acres, was that what you said, Mayor Griff? 2,600 acres?
That's the last I heard, yeah.
So 2,600 acres, we talk about ways that we can keep our day trippers in the area for longer. Expanding the access to those parks and making that a 2 to 3 day visit versus a 1 day, I think is a phenomenal opportunity for all of our communities to capitalize on. Keeping those people overnight, collecting all those pillow taxes, driving them to retail and restaurant. So excited to see that move forward. I know it's not a quick move forward, but excited to see where that goes over the next few years.
Absolutely.
And with that, we will have our project manager from Mendota, Ms. Amy Short, close us out as far as community updates. So I will pass the mic to you.
So thank you, IMAC, for letting me stand in for the mayor, and he apologizes again, he had an appointment. So some people ask, what is a project director? I always say I get to do all the projects that nobody wants to do or has time to do, so here I am. So I'm also fortunate to get to write and oversee some grants along with Allie Bradburn, who is here. So we've been very busy this last year, so I'm excited to be here to share some things that are near and dear to my heart. Our first is our Why I Love Mendota campaign. This initiative is all about shining a light on the good of our community, because there is actually a lot of good happening in Mendota. And don't get me wrong, we definitely have our challenges. We've had big companies leave, we've had some of our small business owners who have retired and left an economic impact into our community. And if you haven't heard, in 2022, we had 2 major devastating fires that have left 2 blocks of our downtown completely physically empty of buildings, and that really kind of left a lot of our residents feeling hopeless and depleted. And so with hardship though comes the hope, and as we say, we will rise from the ashes. And so in 2023, the City of Mendota, in partnership with the volunteer group of Reimagine Mendota, launched the Community Heart and Soul Grant Initiative. And that was where volunteers spent quite a few months interviewing the residents of Mendota to ask them what they loved about Mendota and what they wanted for Mendota. And through that, they were able to survey 25% of the residents, representing all ages and demographics. And from that, we heard a lot of powerful things. And the biggest thing is that people still love our community. They are proud of it, they care about it, they really want great things for our future. And so that's where the Why I Love Mendota campaign came from. And it was a great way for us to remind us that there is really great stuff in Mendota, and there's stuff to focus on while we rebuild and revitalize. So from that, we also were able to create this heart, word art. So all of the words in this heart are all the things that people love. And on your table, there is a QR code that is a link to our first video in our video series about Why I Love Mendota. And it's just a great video. It's inspiring, it's heartfelt, and you really get to see the hometown pride of our community residents. So I encourage you to check that out. But the campaign is just the beginning. The feedback from our community shaped our goals and continues to guide our actions. So with that, one of the things amazing out of all the stuff that they could point out in our community, our sidewalks and needing a bike path was one of those things that came out of it. So we were fortunate last year to receive a Safe Routes to School infrastructure and non-infrastructure grant. So in the spring this year, we'll have new sidewalks being built around one of the schools, which is where the grant received for Lincoln School. And then we also are in the process of conducting walking audits to create a whole plan for a safe route for all of our students to attend each of the schools. We also are waiting and hoping that we will receive a grant that would actually create a bike path from the Amtrak depot train all the way out to our lakes, which is one of our greatest assets in our community. Another top priority is a pavilion and community space in downtown. So thanks to an EPA brownfield grant that we received, we will be mediating the land that's on the west side of a block where the first fires happened. And so that space will be the area that will showcase this new pavilion and gathering space downtown. We're also thrilled to announce that Black Brothers has generously pledged $100,000 for a dollar-for-dollar match to support the project through the Reimagine Mendota's Pavilion on Main Street fundraiser. Residents also wanted color. They wanted us to find a way to support our arts, and it's coming. So we will have 2 new murals in our downtown area, thanks to a National Endowment of Arts grant that was received. And we also created a Mendota Arts Council this year that will continue that work beyond this grant. In an attempt to recruit new business owners and entrepreneurs to our community, which is also important for our economic growth for us and for the whole region, we have partnered with an organization who will provide coaching to business owners and to assist with business plans, marketing, website, and anything else that may be needed for them to succeed. We're also working closely with building owners to encourage new rentals and pop-up shops in their vacant storefronts. And we're hoping for a grant that would help us remodel one of the buildings from the second fire that would host a public market space and co-working space to attract even some of those businesses or some of those employees who would want to take the train in and enjoy our downtown. With all this, we are not forgetting our outdoor spaces. Blackstone Park will receive brand new playground equipment. Strauss Park just received an OSLAR grant to add another basketball court, another pavilion, and a larger playground. An 18-hole disc golf course is being installed right now and will be open this spring in Lake Kakusha. And with our boys soccer team taking 3rd in state, we're exploring upgrades and additional soccer fields at our Lake Mendota parks. Behind the scenes, we're also making major infrastructures like everybody else. Upgrades include repayment of streets, pipe replacements, and updates to our sewer plants. We know that with the grants, there's often a lag between funding and visible progress, and so people are like, nothing's happening in Mendota, but there's a lot going on. And so that is why we love the Why Love Mendota campaign, as it keeps the energy going, so that they know that there are great things in our community as we wait for the exciting changes to unfold with all these grants. And the truth is, Mendota is a great city, and we encourage you to meet us in Mendota to enjoy our lakes and our parks, and of course our Sweet Corn Festival that happens August 8th through the 10th, where more than 45,000 people attend, so be one of those. And we are hopeful that in the next few years that we will be a destination full of connections, opportunities, and continued community pride. Thank you.
Appreciate you and appreciate you, whether you were volunteered, voluntold, or whatever the case may be.